Welcome, everybody, to another episode. We're at episode number 5, Tech Shop Coffee Talk, and with Ross and Bruce. And Ross, what are we going to be talking about today?
Hey Bruce, thanks for connecting. Today we've got a few things on the list. I think we're going to cover some tools of the trade and the business, and some goal setting. And
Awesome.
I think there's some great points in there to help out. So with those, let's get this thing started. If you're
Awesome.
joining us, go out, grab yourself a cup of coffee. Let's sit down and talk. And there's some great products out there: latte, coffee, hot cocoa, whatever flips your wig. Grab one, sit down. Let's have some coffee shop talk going on here. So,
And just for everyone watching this video, just remember under the description down below, you'll see a link. One is Ross with Ross's name and a link to his website where you can buy these fine products. And below that, there's Bruce with a link to where I also sell the same products. But like I say, you may have a hard time understanding one of us because one of us has the accent. That's why we offer both links there. So you can click on one link or the other to get a more clear understanding of the product. But anyway, back to you, Ross.
one of the important things I think, Bruce, for everybody to know, we want you to come and join us. We want you to have fun. We want you to take a few minutes, find some time to sit down, relax with a cup of coffee, and we want to bring value to you. So if you're catching us live, please let us know. And if it's not live, let us know that it's on a replay, and let us know that you're getting value. If you got value out of it, drop us a note that you're getting value out of it. If it's just a little tidbit, we're asking that we're hoping that you can get something out of our talks that you can take with you in your daily life, and that you can use and to share and to help others in the process. And that's what it's all about. And with that, one little note there going forward, Bruce, um, you know, catching that value and helping others. Right now the sad thing is what's going on with the hurricane and everything that's going on.
Yeah.
There's quite a devastation going on, and we want to bring respect to that, and
Yes, sir.
people to know that we want to help, and everybody wants to help. And even if it's stopping for a few minutes to take a quiet moment, or a prayer, or to reach out, or to donate to your local charity, or whatever that situation may be that's going to help somebody in those other um, storm stricken areas. So just a little tidbit there. Other than that, let's get started. Bruce, hit me off on a topic. Let's get rolling.
Well, tools, that's one of my favorite subjects. And when we talk about tools, being in electronics, and I'm in electronics, but I don't want to insult electricians, but I do dabble a little bit with electricity because all my gear is connected to three-phase power. So um, I
Yep.
do have
On.
some understanding of that. But my favorite tools when it comes to that are Kline tools. Where if you're an electrician, you would appreciate the quality of a Kline tool. You can get a screwdriver from Walmart, and then you can put in your hands a Kline screwdriver, and it's like night and day.
It's like a glove fitting on your hand.
Yes, sir. It's
And
well balanced and it just works.
you were talking about electricity. That brought up a quick thing. Our town just did a celebration tonight in their 50th anniversary for the power and utilities that they brought to the company. And
Oh wow.
you were saying with the tech side of things and with our tools, you and I both are not electricians, but
Correct.
we deal with electricity in everything that we do. Everybody does at home too. The computer that we're using right now, the lights
Yep.
that you use, the people don't think about it. The cars that you run, they all have electricity involved with it. And as techs, tools are big in our bag. I carry a van full of tools. I have a bag that is my basic tools that tells me what I need. No matter how
Yep.
many tools I carry, I've always got to go back for more, or for bigger, or for greater, or for different tools.
Or back to Home Depot to get a new one, you know?
And then there's the accessorizing that everybody wants, of that new
Yes,
cool
sir.
tool that's out there too. You know, we all got to have those. But you know, tools not only save us, but they help us, and they help you. But does, you know, my point that I'm getting to here, Bruce, you know, in the online field of things,
Yep.
um, we have different type of tools there too, and
Many tools.
many tools. You know, there's lead generation tools, there's lead generation programs,
Correct.
there's mind tools for getting your mind right and for getting things in order.
Yep.
There's tools for building the business. All of it,
There's tools for keeping track of time.
everything.
Yeah.
And but you know, bottom line, I'm going to ask you a simple question, Bruce. Do you need that fancy high-tech screwdriver that's got a flashy little light on the end of it that just looks cool sitting in your bag?
Well, but and it has a button on it, plays the national anthem also.
There you go. You get my point. You
Yes.
sure do. And do you need that tool? And
No.
will that tool necessarily do your job any better?
No. It's actually the person behind the tool that will with the know-how and the experience. It doesn't matter if you have $1,000 worth of tools or you have $10 tools from Walmart. It's the knowledge behind how you use the tool that makes a difference.
Correct. So, you know, in that, one doesn't have to go out and buy those monthly programs to do a business. Can they? They can.
Hmm.
Will they help their business? They may.
They may or may not, depending on how you use the tool.
How you use the tool. And,
Yeah.
you know, some of that we're going to get into a little bit in goal setting here in a little bit in that
Yeah.
process. But those using those tools is crucial. And everybody, you know, it really burns me up. Everybody thinks, oh, I got to buy this program because it's going to get me this many leads. I got to buy that program because it's going to do this, that, and the other. No.
Because it's got two little flashy red lights on it.
Yes. Well, you know, bottom line, it's you and who you are and what you do.
Correct.
And you've got to step outside of that. And that's one of the hardest things. You know, almost any company that you're working for gives you the basic tools. You know,
Yes.
the online company that you and I are both with, they give us a website tool.
Yep.
Okay. That tool is not going to build my business. That tool is a tool for us to use in our business. And the other tools may or may not help that business grow.
So Ross, let's just flip this back to your business. So you have a van full of tools. Which one of those tools builds your business?
You know what? The ones that I can't pin one specific down,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you this. I carry a small bag of tools. That small bag of tools will do me 99% of what I need that will build my business. And that bag of tools has, and I haven't counted them, but it's let's say it's got about 25 different tools in that bag.
Yeah.
Those 25 tools, one of those tools at any given point in time is the right tool to make the right system function.
Yeah.
And that tool does not work without me behind it.
It's the knowledge behind the tool that makes it powerful.
That it makes it very powerful.
Yeah.
Without that knowledge, that tool is 90% useless.
Hmm.
Very, very huge. And you know, back to what you started out with, Bruce, on using your tools because of the electricity that we're around. And we're not electricians, but we have
Correct.
to read, we have to know, and we have to understand the electricity, what it's doing, and where it's going to make that work.
And also measure when the electricity is there and when it's off, so we can work on it safely.
So just like any business, whether it's a belly to belly business or whether it's an internet business, um, those tools measure what you do.
Correct.
It may be measuring your ability by your, we call these personal developments.
Hmm.
Now, if any tool that you want in your tool, in your in your book of knowledge is your personal development tools. There are books upon books upon books out there on how to on the internet, how to on your personal development, how to in everything that you do. Just like you yourself, if like me, Bruce, we
Yep.
went through many books to gain the master skills that we've developed to do the technical fields that we do
And I don't know about you, but in my field, training is ongoing.
every day,
Yeah.
every
Well,
day.
also with my company, I usually go on anywhere from 2 to 3 training courses a year that are specialized in, newer technology that we have to keep up on.
Yep, yep. Almost all trades have to do that now, at different levels,
Yeah.
and just to maintain your licensing to do what you do. But we also have to do it. Um, right now, I'm going to give you an example. My field, we're fighting the new technology that's coming out. And the problem is the new kids that are coming out of school do not have the tech, are not out of school with that technology yet. The older guys in the field never grew up with that technology. And
You're referring to like the PLCs or?
oh yeah, all the variable drives and the PLCs
Yeah.
and all of that. There's parts and pieces of it that are out, but a lot of the new equipment now is integrated with everything. And us that have been in the field for, look at myself, I'm been in for 24 years plus.
Hmm.
You're going on 30 if I remember correctly.
That's correct. Yeah.
You know what? You and I both had to go through that learning curve, and
Well,
still
yeah.
going through that learning curve.
Well, now, like back in the day when I started, when stuff breaks, you open up the cabinet, you look for the devices, big black smoke, pull that out, go find the one in the parts bin, put a new one in, turn it on, and away she goes. Now, when something blows up, you got to plug in your laptop and talk to it. And a lot of the settings before where you adjust with the screwdriver, it's all done on the laptop.
It's all programming now. Yes.
It's all programming.
Yeah. Well, take that home to the housewives that are here watching, and we hope you're out there listening too with your cup of coffee. But um, taking it back to housewives, the sweepers that you're using in the house, the
Yeah.
intercom systems, the computer systems, the TV systems,
The fridge,
the
the
fridge,
washer, the dryer.
the video camera, the security system. They're
Yeah.
all programs. They're all electronics. They're all factors that need to be worked and programmed and dealt with. So even the what we call the excuse me, I can't even get the word. I'm tongue tied. The domestic housewife that
Yes.
is at home. She's got to not just be, and excuse my terms. Back in the day, they were just a housewife.
Hmm.
Now that new domestic housewife brings on a whole new set of terms. They've now got to be um, college educated with programming skills to turn the stove on and to plug the refrigerator in.
Yeah.
These crazy
The
things.
washing, these washing machines are so advanced. It's to another level.
Yeah, and let's take that back to the other step of what we're headed there, Bruce. Goal setting.
Yeah.
Take all this electronics, take all these tools, take everything, and you know your day is surrounded by these things. And if you don't
Yes.
have some sort of goal setting, where are you going to go with it? Even if
Well,
it's on a minor scale for a housewife.
well, I look at it, Ross. Let's say you and me are sitting here. We're going to go on a road trip, right?
Yes.
And for example, with your bikes, let's say you and me we're going to go on a bicycling trip. If we don't set goals and plan, okay, we're going to go 20 kilometers east and we're going to stop in that town and camp overnight. If we don't kind of set goals and plan it out, it's really hard to just say, I call you and say, Ross, I'm coming next week. I'm bringing a bike. Let's go on a road trip. But we have no plan where we're going, what we're going to do or anything. We're going to really waste a lot of time and be a lot less efficient than if we set some goals and kind of, not only when setting goals, you can kind of know at the end of the day or end of the week, are we going in the right direction or not? So, but a lot of people, they do set goals, but they never get out of the car or start driving in the direction they set the goals. In other words, they talk about goals, but it's like they're just talking about a dream. A lot of 99% of the people have dreams, but those that succeed, we're talking less than 20% who achieve their goals, not only talk or set goals, they take action on those goals.
Yes.
And go ahead.
And with that, Bruce, also, there's even the ones that do set goals and don't reach them, even after taking action to them. And that goes back into the importance of how you set those goals and how those goals are set, because a goal never set is never reached.
Well, it reminds me when I used to work for a power company as a electronics technician, and every Monday morning we get on the phone and have a conference call with our team. It's about 20 people. We all kind of go around the room and say, okay, this is kind of what I'm working on this week. This is kind of what I'm planning on doing, and we'll see where we go. And in the 5 years I was there, I don't think I've ever started the week and finished the week with the goals I set, because of not only am I doing projects, but you're putting out fires and everything else too. If I had a listed 10 things, I probably only achieved one of those 10 of what I was moving forward on, and the other 9 I couldn't achieve because I'm too busy. Crisis came along, or something broke, and I had to. I'm being pulled in so many directions. Yes. But even without at least setting some goals, I would have got nothing done. At least I got, at least I was taking some steps in the right direction. But it's painful. But then if you kind of step and look at it over a 6-month view, you see, okay, yes, you are kind of going in the right direction, but it's a very painful process. You're fighting to get something done. It's really hard.
And having that list, even though you get pulled away,
yeah,
though you get bombarded with outside tasks, when you get those completed, you get those called up, then where do you go? You go back to your list and reattack your goals and pick up the next goal and work towards them. I saw a goal tonight. This was a pretty amazing goal, and it's talking about speaking your goals into existence.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard that term before. This guy, I'm going to read it just because it's
okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And he's listing it. It says dream, declare, delivery.
That makes sense.
Happy and grateful for today, March 1st, 2020. I hit a goal of $100,000 per month with my business. Now, did you catch that, Bruce?
Yes, he was talking in the future, but making it sound like it's today.
That's correct. And
that's powerful.
And that's powerful. And I know this gentleman, and he's reached many of these goals before. This is not his first one of that type. And it just goes to show you they can be reached. And you've got to set them, and don't be afraid to set them. And here he's not only setting that goal, but he's speaking that goal into existence, which helps to take action with that goal.
Well, I do. I have seen people that have set no goals, and I don't really stay in connection with them, but I bump into them 5 years later, and they haven't done a whole lot in their life. They're just kind of stuck in a circle. You know what I mean? And I've seen other people, they set goals that they can't reach, and they exceed they either, even if they failed, they come very close to meeting that goal, and it pulls them to a very good level, or they exceed that goal. So when you do set goals and take action, you can change your life.
Yes. And
But
uh,
without goals, you're just going to go around in circles.
one of the strongest trainings that I had, Bruce, and I cannot remember back to where I picked it up from or which book it was from. I wish I did.
Yep.
It'll dig me to go back and reread and find it. But it was talking about setting those goals, and then it said to go out first and set those. Um, it actually listed 5 goals, and it said
Okay.
set those 5 goals, and then it was after you set those 5 goals, it
Yep.
came down then and said, now set yourself 10 goals to reach those 5 goals. And in this process, you are stepping off. Those goals were steps to take to reach
Hmm.
those final goals. So therefore, it became a checklist in reaching goals. Um,
Yep.
so you had smaller goals that were being met to lead you into your greater end goal of what you were receiving.
Yep.
And I thought, after going through goals and settings and trainings and whatnot, that was powerful because of what it said and what it spoke. Because, like you say, most people set that large goal and then they don't know how to get there. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to put it on paper.
And that's a lot of things too. People don't realize, you know, taking the first step gets you a lot closer to the goal than never taking a step.
Right.
And as you take a step, the more steps you take, the more luckier you get. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Yep. And
The less that the less steps you take, if you just stay and do nothing, luck never comes your way. But the closer you walk towards luck, people say the harder you work, the luckier you
the
get.
luckier you get. I don't believe in luck just come along, but
No.
those who do work hard, they are the ones who become lucky. And
Yeah.
and you can look at that however you want, but the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Like Elon Musk with Tesla, it sounds like, a few days a week he's sleeping in his office because he's working from very early in the morning, and he works till he's just totally exhausted and he falls asleep in his office. So he's very driven to get some things done. And,
Well,
it
and
just, you know,
he's smart enough to step outside of his goals to get those done. Because I don't know if you've heard the story a little bit about him, where
a little bit.
on one of his cars he had a goal and a deadline set, and everybody said he wasn't going to meet it. There was no way possible that he could meet it. So what did he do? He went out in the parking lot. He set up a tent in the parking lot and made
Yeah.
a full assembly line, just like uh, back in the day when Mr. Ford
Yeah.
created the automobile. Just like he was doing, he built the assembly line without all the fancy tools, not all the fancy computer systems, and he went and hired a workforce and put them together. And
Yeah.
he actually, if I remember correctly, he actually turned out more cars in a shorter period of time than what the computer system place factory did. And by doing that, he actually met his goal of the cars that he was producing than what he said he was going to do. And
Wow.
and he did this in a time frame. I want to say it was like 30 days or 31 days that he had. It was like a month's time that
Yep.
he constructed all that, put it together, and put the ungodly number of vehicles through it in the process.
Yes.
And it's you had to have goals to get there. He wanted that goal bad, and he took the steps necessary to get there.
And that's the thing. He set a goal, and he didn't take action. He took massive, massive action.
And
And that's the difference between um, someone someone who achieves a little and someone who achieves great.
yeah, and those goals are a part of his tool bag.
And the scary thing is the difference between someone who's just middle class,
Mm-hmm.
a 9 to 5er. Not there's anything wrong with that, but a 9 to 5er who shows up, gives you 100%, but at 5 o'clock punches out and leaves. A person who, you know, stays till it's done and does that every day, there, it's very close, very similar. You know, even you know, the difference is not that much more. Like a person who's just, you know, average versus someone who pushes to the limit, it's not that much more energy you have to put in to become a high achiever. It's pretty scary actually.
Yes, yes, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Because I heard this. We all have the same amount of time. We all have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. I tell you what, if you're still with us, take a second, run to the kitchen, refill your coffee cup. Now, if you haven't, make sure it's a healthy coffee, and if it's not, holler at us and let us know. But take a second. You're not going to miss anything. I'm going to
For
run
sure.
here for a little bit. Grab that. We're going to come back and hit. Finish up on some goals and some tools, and who knows where it's going to go from there. But Bruce, so far this is getting to be fun, and this was episode number 5, if I remember.
Yes, sir.
Right. And
The lucky number 5.
we're getting better at it. But like Bruce says, one of us has an accent. I'm going to throw this one at him. We don't know who it is yet, but if you figured it out, drop it down in the deal before. And if you figure it out, maybe we'll tell you next week who that might be, and maybe you might find out why there might be an accent there. So,
And I don't think it's me, eh?
I don't know, but one of us has an excuse for it.
Well, and it could be because it's too hot or too cold, depending how you look at
No, it's something that happened in childhood.
it. You'll have to tell me your story, Ross.
Well, you'll have to come back next week, and I will drop a little tidbit on that. And it's just a way of life, and the one of us that has that accent, you'll find out, does not, because there's a reason for it. He might not have the perfect singing voice that he always wished he had.
Also, too, one of us may have experienced more global freezing than global warming in the past 20 years, but we won't get into that.
Well, I don't know that maybe a little bit, but not far behind you on that one.
It's all relative, I guess, eh?
But anyway, back to our goals and tools. I'm sure everybody's back and got their cup filled, and let's go for another little spell here.
Awesome.
I'm coming up on 24 minutes right now, and time flies. But if you're still here, thank you for hanging with us. We want
Thank
to
you.
bring value to you. So
Also, real quick, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to, if you're either on Ross's channel or my channel, and click on if you look below, actually, both Ross's videos are under my description, and under Ross's video description, my channel's over there. So click down below and kind of poke through the description below there. There's a lot of good nuggets of information down there. You can kind of look around. And also, the link to the healthy coffee for both Ross and myself are down below. So please, don't be afraid to use that mouse and click around and take a look.
you bet. We're not paid. We're not being paid for this. We're not being sponsored for this. But you can help us by checking out our links and seeing where that goes. And but we want to bring the value to you and help you out. Also down below too, like Bruce is saying, if there's a subject you want some information on, or a subject that you want some details on, drop it down there, and we will take a look and maybe work it into one of our podcasts. So we'll see what it does. But
Awesome.
Bruce, I'm going to ask you real quick.
Yep.
And not to get too specific, okay? But
Okay.
we're goal setting. So give me, and I have not personally spoke with you, and we have not talked about this topic, okay?
Okay.
Give me 1 or 2 of your top 10 goals without being you might have to give some specific. That's okay.
Well,
we're not trying to personalize, or not trying to put on but give us a direction on something that.
Well, basically 5 years ago when oil crashed in the market, and I had some severe life changes, family life changes, and I had to career, life, housing, everything kind of flipped upside down, and it's like I had to start over. So when you have to start over, you can't just. It's not like taking a pause. It's kind of like someone came up to your chalkboard and wiped it all clean. And in some ways, in the last 5 years, I've been able to kind of reinvent myself. And after the dust settles, you gotta sort out where you are, be content where you are, but still, in order to keep moving, I've set some goals to kind of push me forward. And um, I've set a lot of good goals. And like I said, I don't want to be over specific here, but some of those goals I've set, I've already achieved a few of them. And even within my organization, I have some goals, some bigger goals, getting into like a management position. But I have to wait for some people to retire or the organization to change. But
Process in those goals.
the process, but I have been starting to invest in myself, and here again is back to personal development, and do some more learning about management and skills and soft skills and stuff you need and what they're looking for to become a manager. Even though I have 30 years of experience, you need different skill sets to be a manager. You still need that experience, but there's other skill sets they need. um, so in order for me to achieve those goals, I've been working on that. I've been working on bettering my personal life. I've been bettering, working on goals, even helping my kids set some goals and plans. And so not only have I've had to do this for myself, I have a 23-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 13-year-old, 12-year-old. Sorry, I've been helping them, and a 17-year-old, helping them plan, look at their life and plan, and try and help them set goals for their future, because it's a complicated, big. It's not only about me setting goals, but it's about me trying to impart that onto my kids. Because I find too, if they don't have a plan,
It's
if
that
they don't
reaching
have a
down to help somebody.
right, if they don't have a plan, you got to say, well, what's your interest, and you got to kind of, you can't give them a plan, but you got to tweak their mind and get them thinking so they come up with a plan. You probably have the same story with your kids there.
I have similar story. Mine may be a little different twist, but and I'm a little more stronger in my side of things, Bruce. Um, I'm going to be blunt. One of my
Yep.
number one goals is financial freedom.
Okay.
That's a that's a that can be huge, but
Yeah.
it can also be minor. Just being debt free is being financial freedom. But financial freedom can also go to another level of not only just being free, but being able to have the freedom to do more to help others in that process.
Yes.
That's one of my large goals. Okay, small goals in there. I've got three boys. Um,
Yeah.
I want to see them succeed greatly. So I want to be a huge part and provide a more freedom lifestyle for them that I and you and other people that we grew up with weren't able to have or do because of society. Not
Yeah.
you know, I look at where my father was and where my father came from. I've made massive leaps and bounds from
Hmm.
where my father was, and he was not no dummy in any sort. He was educated, he was skilled, and he used his skills through his life in greatness.
Yeah.
I learned from that, and I use a lot of those skills that I learned from him today. But I've been able to take those skills and advance more. If my father could have advanced at his level, well, in society, I would even be farther ahead because you know, we're leaving the legacy for our kids.
Yes.
And that's another goal of mine is to develop that legacy for my kids, to allow them to have the greater freedom to help more. And one of my sons already wants to do that. He's already got the concept in his head that um, he wants to work for no pay. And
Wow.
that's a mind changer even at my age of it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
But can it? Yeah, there are some ways that it can.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes it, but you and I know it takes funds and financial things to make that occur. So I'm looking to be a backbone in that process. Those are just a couple of my audacious goals.
Yes.
And to reach those, I've got many smaller goals in the process. One of my greatest goals is outside of those is to have the freedom to take me and my wife throughout the world, and or she's more just the United States and
Mm-hmm.
continental area. Not so much a global side of traveler, but there's some things we want to go see and do together as a
And,
wife.
and with financial freedom, those options, the options are more and more unlimited what you can choose to do.
Yes. Now, what's hard for me is in that goal setting, I've
Mm-hmm.
had to overcome some massive things.
Okay.
One of the first things is, and I'm going to drop a little bomb right here. One is an accent, and that accent has not allowed me my personal inner feeling to be free. 5 years ago, Bruce, I never would have been on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I never would have been face to face on the internet or anything. It was actually a school friend that actually invited me to Facebook
Oh, wow.
in 2000. This is gonna blow you away. In 2012,
Okay.
and I really don't know when Facebook came out, but it was long before that.
Yeah, it's been around for,
And I was
yeah,
like, why would anybody want to be on Facebook? Why would anybody want to be on Instagram? Why would anybody
yeah,
want to be on LinkedIn? That was a whole new, that was a different piece for me. That wasn't me. So I've had to, learn that and overcome that and grow that. But along with that, um, the greater piece of that is personal development.
yes,
And that personal development is huge in my goal setting because in my line of business, it's what we call a brick and mortar business.
yep.
And we advertise, we drive business, we push business, we do everything we can to develop business for people to come see us and to do us.
Yeah.
And that is, in a nutshell, the total opposite of what you do on an online internet business. And, people call it spamming. So basically, in my brick and mortar business, we spam everybody to get their attention to come see us and to use us and to deal with us and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
In the internet business, that's shut away from.
Well, in the internet, it's kind of like they try and want you to do attraction marketing.
Yes.
They want people to, yeah.
And being in my business for 24 plus years doing that, now I've got to learn and convert to go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me that's not hard? Oh man, is that hard? But you know what? It's in learning that I've become a different person. I think I've become a better person. And what I'm hoping people can take from this short little conversation right here, Bruce, is um, that you don't have to be the um, you don't have to be the millionaire on the block. You don't have to drive the Mercedes Benz. You
Yeah.
don't have to have the Bugatti in the garage. You don't have to dress in high heels and wear
I don't.
wear the what's the famous dress, salami dress or something. I'm out of it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm out of it for dresses. Yeah, I don't.
but my point is you don't have to have all those and be all those. You can
Yeah.
just be a plain Jane at home, takes your kids to school,
Yep.
cooks the meal for the
Yep.
family, or it could be Mr. Mom. You know, we
Yes.
don't want to exclude one way or the other. I've got a lot of great friends here in town where we've got a lot of Mr. Moms around.
Yep.
It so happens to be the wife has the great job and the great insurance and the great process, and you know that's just society and the way it works. But back to the basics. We all set goals to get there, and we all want to
Yeah.
help people set those goals, and we all want to direct and guide that. But my point being is, be who you are
Yep.
and set those goals for you to reach, not for somebody else to reach. And just because you don't end up with the hottest car on the street, in the garage, or in your drive, or the sharpest looking house on the street, doesn't mean you're successful.
Hmm.
I know some of the in my town. It's a very wealthy town, and some of the greatest success that's right here in this town, they do not live any differently than I do.
Yeah.
In a house any bigger or any smaller, or yet some of them, I would probably say mine even looks a little better than theirs.
Hmm.
You know, now there are a few that have the big house on the hill and right in the middle of the town and the ducks and the geese, and you've heard the song of Fiddler on the Roof, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
No, but let's take that back to goal setting. Of setting your goals, let's get yourself a list this week. Set yourself 5 to 10 goals.
Yeah.
Then take your 5 to 10 goals and set 3 to 5 goals to reach each and every one of those.
Can I pause there
Jump in there, Bruce.
before? Just now, those tools that Ross is talking about, that's the most powerful thing. But with any tool, what are you going to use it for? So, what I usually say is, to start, you need a dream. What is your passion? What is your why? What do you want to do with your life? So you need to first of all have a dream, and everyone has a dream, but in order to achieve that dream, it could be big, it's huge, but to get there, then we take these tools that Ross is talking about, you know, set steps, you know, let's figure out a plan, get some steps, and what will that will do is set you a roadmap. Let's say, you know, you're trying to go from point A to point C, and it's 3,000 miles away. How we're going to get there is, you know, just little steps every day. And if you look at how am I going to do 3,000 miles, it's impossible. You throw up your hands and forget. But or so you got to look, you got to break it down into baby steps, and like you say, the 5 big steps, break it down to 10 smaller steps, and that's the secret to getting going. That will pull you into the 20%, pull you out of the 80% that just dream, and put you in the 20% that take action. And taking action, we all only have 24 hours in a day, but if you just take a little bit, spend a little bit more time every day towards, you know, that plan, you can get there
Every mountain climb starts with one single step.
for sure.
And if you don't take that first step, you're not going to climb the mountain. And it's not the peak of the mountain, it's the journey of the mountain.
For sure.
So
Well, Ross, thank you very, very much for sharing your time with me.
you bet.
I really appreciate having these pretty good talks back and forth.
Yeah, they're cool and they're fun, and I hope everybody else is getting a tidbit from them too. And Bruce, next week, come back, find out about the accent.
Okay.
That's what we said somebody may find out, since that's a little something we got going on. Maybe you'll hear about that. Also, bring a quote back with you next week.
Now, it can be a quote I made or somebody
Well,
else's.
it can be a quote you made. It can be a quote that you've taken from personal development,
Okay.
and have a way to apply that quote too. So, and
Okay.
we want everybody else that's joining us too. They can do this too. So think of a quote this week with your goals, and use that quote to work towards your goals and how they're useful and whatnot. if you don't have a source for that, Jim Rohn is a spectacular speaker
Very powerful.
and very powerful. And I would say reach out to him. There's a lot of info on the internet. He's got some spectacular books. I'm not just supporting Jim Rohn. There's many.
There's Les Brown. There's
Les Brown. If
yeah.
Les Brown's got a lot on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You can pick up his information. There's Tony Robbins. These are
Tony's. Yeah.
These are some strong ones.
There's Bruce Fowler.
Yeah, Bruce has got a couple. But grab one, get a little personal development this week, set some goals, and come back next week with a healthy coffee, and join us for Tech Talk Coffee Shop. And
awesome.
Let's have some fun and share some value and see what we can do to reach out and help people.
Thank you, Ross, for all your value.
You bet.
And please put below if you think one of us needs subtitles when we speak there, just for those that are having a problem understanding.
All righty. Well, thanks again, and come back next week, and we'll look to see you then. Until then, heads up, rock and roll, grab some healthy coffee, and we'll join you next week. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.